Fans who have already read the manga know about Shunsui Kyoraku's Bankai and how overpowered it is. However, those who have yet to read TiteKubo's manga are in for a treat. As soon as the trailer dropped, some fans took to X to inquire about Shunsui's Bankai. According to the manga, Shunsui's Bankai is called Katen Kyokotsu, Karamatsu Shinju, and it centers around the theme of theater. His Bankai is split into 4 acts or dan, where each act has different effects on his foes based on shared fate. Shunsui demonstrates his Bankai against Lil Baro in Bleach TiteKubo as his last resort. Shunsui Kyoraku activates his Bankai against the Schutzstaffel, Lil Baro, after ensuring that there's no one within a specific distance. The Captain Commander holds the Katen Kyokotsu in front of him with the dual blades pointing down. He chants, Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju, which happens to be the name of his Bankai. Black, root-like tendrils begin to spread from the blades and Shunsui, as the Zanpakuto's spirit, Katen Kyokotsu, appears behind the commander. Interestingly, Shunsui only uses his Bankai ability when his allies are far away, otherwise they get ensnared in its effects. Shunsui's Bankai changes the entire atmosphere and the perception surrounding the environment following its activation. Ichigo, Ganju, Orihime, Chad, and even Askin Nak Lavar get chills. They feel a cold and melancholic sensation from the atmosphere, despite not being in the Bankai's range. Shunsui asks Lil Baro in Bleach, chapter 648, whether the world appears murky to him. It is soon revealed that Shunsui Kyoraku's Bankai, Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju, is based on the theme of theater. It is further implied by the chapter name, The Theater Suicide. As stated earlier, Shunsui Kyoraku's Bankai follows the concept of theater, with different acts. Bleach, chapter 648 reveals that Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju has 4 acts in total, and every act is based on the shared relationship between Shunsui and his foes. After creating an environment filled with despair, Shunsui begins to orchestrate fearsome acts. The first act is called Tameraikizu no Wakachiai, which translates to sharing of hesitation wounds or hesitance and apportionment of wounds. Under this act, any wound that the Captain Commander or his opponents inflict on each other's bodies appears on the other's body as well. The Bankai's first act tells the tale of a man who suffers the same wound as his partner but cannot die from it. The next act, Act 2, is Zanki no Shitone or the Pillow of Shame. In this act, dark spots appear on Shunsui's opponents, causing them to bleed profusely. The Captain Commander likens the act to a story of a man who regrets the wounds he inflicted upon his partner. As such, he lies face down in bed with a deep sense of shame and gets stricken by an incurable disease. The third act is Dangyo no Fuchi, the Severing Abyss, where Shunsui and his opponent are engulfed by water. They remain in the water until one of them runs out of their spiritual pressure and drowns in the abyss. Similar to the first 2 acts, the third act of Shunsui's Bankai in Bleach tells the tale of 2 characters who jump into gushing waters, the melancholic. A tale concludes in the 4th and final act, Itokiribasami Chizome no Nodobue, thread-cutting scissors upon a blood-streaked throat. Shunsui's Zanpakuto spirit, Katen Kyokotsu, nicknamed Ohana, appears in this final act and embraces the commander from behind. In the 4th act, Shunsui narrates the story of a violent and wild man who has no ear to listen to a woman's affection. As such, the man's ears are cut off, and his throat is mercilessly sheared by a white thread. The same fate befalls Shunsui's opponent in the final act. The Captain Commander uses a white thread to cut off his foe's throat in the grand finale. Much like his Shikai abilities, Shunsui's Bankai in Bleach has shared properties. In other words, Shunsui puts life at stake whenever he demonstrates his Bankai. While he utilized its abilities to good effect against Lil Baro, the Schutzstaffel's immortality prevented him from dying. That said, the Bankai, Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju, shows why Shunsui was chosen as the Captain Commander. Had it been anyone without the immortality status, it would have probably eliminated them.